Hi there, and thanks for tuning in for another round of Inside Franklin Marshall Wrestling. I'm Brad Weltman here for GoDiplomats.com. Joined as always by Franklin Marshall head wrestling coach Mike Rogers, and we've got special guest 197-pounder Charles Kerkesner here with us today. So, guys, thanks a lot for joining us as always. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
So, hey, it's always good to sit down and talk about a win. Last Saturday, team traveled to George Mason and picked up a 21-17 victory. It's been the first time in about 5 years since you guys have taken them down. Captured 5 matchups overall. You got bonus points at 125 from Aaron Moldoff and Jason Bing at 149. So really just, all over the lineup, guys look like they wrestled hard. You have to be pleased with the effort.
Yeah, like you said, it's been nice to finally get a team win. It's been a while, and all our wins have been on the road so far. So it's been a bit challenging, but like I said before, it's been our toughest schedule. I think putting the teams that we wrestled early in the season, like the Lehighs and those really strong teams, our guys were a little bit more prepared going into teams like George Mason, which we were probably a little bit more evenly matched up with. And I think too, anytime we're able to split the bouts, there's 10 bouts, so we can win 5 of the 10. I think we're in the match, dual meet wise, and we have guys that can get bonus points, whether it's Durso or this time it was Aaron Moldoff at 25 and Jason Bing picking up some bonus for us, and then not giving up the bonus at certain weight classes definitely help. So when we can go in and win 5 out of 10 matches, I think we're definitely in the mix of all the dual meets. But I think part of our preparation of wrestling those tougher teams maybe have helped us get over that hump of, we've been very close with George Mason ever since I've been here the last 6 years. It's always come down to 1 or 2 matches that were a point or two, and we just haven't been able to cross that threshold. And it was nice to do that on the road and finish our travel, our last dual meet on the road with a win. Hopefully we can follow it up.
Yeah, so, we're heading into the final week of the regular season. It's a pretty eventful one. You've got the Rupp Cup here on Thursday with Millersville coming to town, and then Saturday you host Sacred Heart for Senior Day. Those on paper look like 2 pretty winnable matchups. So how important is it for the confidence of your guys to kind of finish the season strong?
I think it's extremely important. One, for their individually to finish off strong and get those individual bouts wins, and also as a team. Like I said, we've been kind of taking it on the chin for a while because of the schedule we put together to go out against 2 other opponents we match up, I think, well against to get a team win would be huge for our seniors to send them off on a positive note, and kind of we put a string of wins together. George Mason, if we can put 2 more together, 3 in a row, that's a nice way to kind of cap off the dual meet season going into postseason. So, but they're both strong teams. We can't look past Millersville. We've been able to, win that one ever since I've been here. But it's always a tough battle. It's a local, some pride on the line because they're right across the road, in Millersville, and the Rupp Cup and all that stuff. And our guys need to you can't look past that one. And we got to focus on Millersville first, and then Sacred Heart, after that. And if we do that, I think we'll be okay. And if we do the things that we know how to do and push the pace and be aggressive, hopefully things will fall in the right place for us.
And Charles, you're going to be one of those seniors that are competing at home this week for the final time. So, how much does that go? How much is that in your head heading in these matches, or is it just another bout?
I try to put it to the back of my head, but it's kind of like I feel both excited and kind of sad about this weekend because not only is it's our last home meet here, but it'd also be like the team's final chance to wrestle in front of our home crowd here. We want to try and look as strong as we can going into the conference championship coming up in a few weeks.
Right. So what are some of the goals that you have for the rest of the season here heading into the IWAs?
For example, this weekend I'd like to win my matches. And then for the future, I'd like to be able to both place at the IWAs, and then my ultimate goal would be go on to nationals and hopefully place.
And then, looking back over your last 4 years here, what have been some of your favorite memories that you think you're going to take away?
Pretty much all my favorite memories here at F&M would have been the times that I've spent with the wrestling team, no matter if it's on the mat or off the mat, like going to play laser tag with the rest of the team or going to movies with them. Both that and any of the meets we went to, or pretty much every practice were are my favorite times I spent here.
And then, your brother's a freshman on the team. Talk about the experience of him joining the program for your senior year.
Well, it was kind of interesting having him here this year. I've been wrestling since second grade, and he began wrestling, I believe, the year before he began kindergarten. So we're practice partners pretty much the entire time there. So we've grown to learn each other's strengths, weaknesses, and we know what each of us are going to do during the matches. So we've each had to step up our game now that we're here and try new things to make each other better.
And you guys actually competed against each other earlier in the years.
Yes, we competed at the Blue and White Wrestle-Off and then one of the tournaments earlier this year too.
Did you think that was going to pop up at some point in the year at these tournaments?
I was hoping it was actually.
Have you always had the upper hand on him kind of growing up?
You could say that, I guess.
So, you're a joint studies major. Just talk a little bit about what your plans are after graduation.
In the short term, within the last few weeks, I had an interview with Teach for America. I'd like to see how that would turn out. I should hear back within maybe like a month or two. But for the long term, I'd eventually like to become either an actuary or do something with banking.
Great. Well, Charles, thanks a lot for your insight and joining us here.
Thanks.
And, Mike, Charles is one of the 7 seniors that you're going to be honoring on Saturday. Just talk in general about that class and what it's kind of meant to the program.
Yeah, it's a pretty special class, and a lot of people may or may not know that Chuck and his brother are both from Fort Myers, Florida, which is my hometown. They're from my first high school. I went to 2 high schools, Cypress Lake and Fort Myers High School, and that's how we got to recruit those guys up, coming all the way up from Florida. And that's a big commitment for these guys, because you're leaving your whole support system, you're leaving your whole family to come this far up north to compete in a very competitive environment. In wrestling in Pennsylvania is extremely tough and competitive. So I give Chuck and his brother a lot of credit to come that far to buy into what we're doing here and to do what we're doing. But all the seniors, Rick Durso and Colin and all those guys, they're just really they have built on what we've been trying to do here. I think every recruiting class we get is a little bit more, for lack of a better word, caliber. And a lot of that is because of what these guys are doing. They're making the program visible on a national stage, and so people are looking at Franklin Marshall, what these seniors have done and the guys behind them are doing, and they want to be a part of that. So I don't think we can get the recruiting class that we're attracting now without their efforts and what they've done and put on the line for the program. And like you said, everyone we've had sit in this chair are going off to do great things. Teach for America or banking or business. It's just really impressive to see how much work and time and effort they put in on and off the mat, and to balance that with everything they got to do is really impressive. So they get a lot of my credit, because I don't know if I could do it here. The academics and the wrestling and competing at the Division I level, but these guys do it, and they do it every day, and they come in every day, and step on the line and compete. And I think they're just going to be strong, great employees, and whoever picks these guys up, whether it's in the business world or the educational world, are going to be very happy and pleased with the product that we're producing, with the academics here at F&M, and then with the training these guys go through. They know what sacrifice is. They know what hard work is. Putting in time is not going to be an issue for these guys. So we're proud of them. We want the best for them, and like we said, we want to send these seniors out, whether they're starting or not. We want to send them out on a positive note with these next 2 dual meets, and in the postseason, the better we do, the more they're going to take away from that, because whether it's Rick's success or anyone else's success, they have a big part of that. So it's a team effort, even though that one guy is maybe getting a lot of the attention. It's behind the scenes guys that make the effort, that make everything possible. So we're excited. Hopefully we can get everyone out and support us for the last 2 dual meets, and then kind of kick it into postseason.
Mike, Charles, thanks a lot for your time today. Good luck the rest of the week.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Be sure to join us next time when we recap the Millersville and Sacred Heart matches and look ahead to the IWA championships.